put your ring on your credit card.
Exactly.
First mistake.
Exactly.
They got engaged when he was broke, so the bride-to-be footed the bill for the ring. Now they've split.
My agreement was that I was going to pay for the ring that I was going to get her, not something that she didn't approve
Her
of.
former fiancé, Andy Villapando, for the money she put toward her engagement ring because he cheated on her. Andy says since Nadine bought her own ring, he's not responsible.
Order, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 288 on the calendar in the matter of Munoz versus Villapando. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Well, this is a new twist on an engagement ring case. Ms. Munoz, according to your complaint, you went shopping with this gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
You were becoming engaged, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
According to you, you picked out a ring that you liked.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have any money or any credit.
None whatsoever.
So you put your ring on your credit card.
Exactly.
First mistake.
Exactly. Exactly.
In addition to that, you say he charged some tires on a credit card for tires on a credit card of yours without your permission. To make a long story short, you're here, so that means you're no longer engaged.
Exactly. We are no longer engaged. We're no longer in speaking terms whatsoever.
And so tell me what you want from him.
I want him to pay half of the engagement ring that he gave me, that we both went together to go get. I have the appraisal. I also have the appraisal on the ring.
I'm not interested in the appraisal.
Okay.
I'm interested in the bill of sale.
Okay.
Where is it?
I have the bill of sale.
Can I have it, please? Okay. 26/27/94.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how long did this love affair last after the ring was bought?
Not long.
How long?
Till May 31st.
Well, when was the ring purchased?
February 23rd.
So.
But I had no, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I didn't walk out of the relationship. He did. He walked out.
I assume you weren't getting along?
It wasn't going anywhere, and so, but I tried to work it out. He didn't want to, so therefore he walked out.
Well, that's probably a good idea, right?
Yes, but he left me with the bill, and I thought that because of his promise that he made that he was going to pay for part of the ring, I expected that in return.
Now I'm going to ask you this question. Why didn't you take the ring back to the jeweler?
I did. They would not give me my money back. They asked for credit, and I said, okay, fine. I then called Mr. Villapando and asked him, look, I don't want you to be without anything, and I don't want to be without anything. Therefore, you get $1,500 worth of the ring, and I'll get $1,500 worth. And I did call him on that, because I no longer want the ring. I told Mr. Villapando
So why
that I
didn't you
want
sell it?
I tried. You know how hard it is to sell a ring? I've tried for the months that went by. I've tried to sell that ring, and I can't.
Okay. Now, sir, you acknowledge, let's get rid of the tire question.
Okay.
Okay? Because I don't think that you deny that you signed her name and that you bought the tires, correct?
On the credit card for the tires, correct.
All right. And the tires were $330?
Correct.
Did you pay her back?
I've paid her $315, so I owe her $15.
No, he
Let
didn't.
me see.
My first payment was made cash, and I got 2 check duplicates. If you need to subpoena my bank records.
I don't subpoena anything, sir.
Okay,
What do
thank
I'm not your lawyer. I'm the judge.
Your Honor, on those checks that he gave me, that was part of the rent and the electric bills that he left me stuck with because he did not pay for anything. Everything is under my name in that apartment because Mr. Villapando, again, has no credit whatsoever. He claimed bankruptcy in the beginning of January.
Did you leave her with any bills when you
No,
left?
ma'am. I used to bring my checks, and she's the one that took care of the finances.
That's not true. That's not true. We did both of our finances together. We did both of them together. He couldn't write the check on the apartment because of the fact that it was not leased under his name.
Okay. Now, sir, do you have any payments that you made to her in June of '97?
The only payments I made to her, ma'am, are those 2 and the one cash payment I made before those 2.
All right, so now I understand this. Would you give this back?
Sure.
Tires. You owe her $330. Now, let's get to the ring. Tell me about the ring, because your story was an interesting one, sir.
Well, on the ring, We had an agreement, yes,
Look at
that
me.
she was going to allow me to charge a ring so I can get her because of my credit pass from a divorce that pretty much ruined my credit. Anyways, I went out and I found a ring that I wanted to get her, and I took her to the store, and she pretty much made me feel about this little because the ring wasn't nice enough, big enough, and gaudy enough, and she specifically told me it had to be bigger than my ex-wife's. And I believe the ring was almost 2 carats as it was, and my ex-wife was only like 1 carat.
Your Honor.
So,
Sir, listen to me.
yes, ma'am.
Very nice ring. It's not 2 carats.
Correct.
This is not 2 carats.
Correct.
Okay. So, go ahead. So
And
you took her to the store, and you found a ring that you liked.
I found a ring. As a matter of fact, they were even having a big sale, so it was like a real good deal, everything. And she did not want it. It wasn't what she wanted and stuff like that. And to me, I felt like, you know, I'm buying it as a gift. You should appreciate what I'm getting you. And that's
So
how
what
we did it.
happened? So you're at the store, and
So
she
we're at
doesn't like
store.
the ring.
She didn't like it, and so we didn't get a ring that day. And she decided she wanted to get a ring that she would like.
But you went with her again to find a ring that she liked.
Correct.
Okay.
And when she finally discovered the ring that she wanted, she asked me what I thought of it, and I told her it's up to her. And that's where it went, and she bought it and signed for it.
But you also promised that you were going to pay for half of it, or actually pay for the gift because it was a gift coming from you, considering the fact that you wanted to get engaged, Andy. You did.
My
Mr.
agreement, I'm sorry.
Your agreement was what?
My agreement was that I was going to pay for the ring that I was going to get her, not something that she didn't approve of or like and wanted.
No, that doesn't make sense, my friend. That doesn't make sense, my friend. Now it makes sense to you. Now it's a good story. Now I can understand that you went and found a ring, a little too small, not exactly what she wanted. She said she'd like something else. You went shopping with her again because I assume at that point you were still in love and you were planning on getting married, and at that point I assume you wanted her to be happy with the ring. That's why you went with her again. Doesn't look like anybody drags you any place where you don't want to go. And I assume that if the relationship had progressed and you married, that you would have made payments on this engagement ring that you gave her.
It probably would have came out of a joint checking account, yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I can't pay a $3,000 ring on my income, and I know he probably couldn't do it either, but it was something that he promised to pay, and it was a gift from him.
All right, guys, let's pause here because there is a lot to unpack in this first half of the case. Just to recap the wild situation we are looking at, Nan is suing her ex. Andy, and the core of this dispute comes down to a massive financial red flag. Andy had absolutely no credit and had just filed for bankruptcy in January. Because he was completely broke, Nan ended up putting her own engagement ring on her personal credit card. The judge immediately called this out as her very first mistake, and it is hard to disagree with that assessment. The timeline here is also incredibly short. The ring was purchased in late February, and by the end of May. Andy had already walked out on the relationship, but the engagement ring isn't the only issue on the table. Andy also bought over $300 worth of car tires using Nan's credit card, and he actually signed her name to make the purchase, while Andy claims he paid her back for those tires with cash and a couple of checks. Nan completely shuts that defense down. She explains to the court that those checks were actually just him making partial payments toward the apartment rent and electric bills he left her stuck with. Because his credit was absolutely ruined, the apartment lease and all the utilities had to be entirely in her name. You really have to give Nan some credit for trying to handle this maturely after the sudden breakup. She took the ring back to the jeweler, but they would only offer her store credit instead of a cash refund. She even offered to split the $1,500 in store credit evenly with Andy so that neither of them would walk away empty-handed, but she says she couldn't sell the ring and he wouldn't cooperate. Now she is standing in court just asking for him to pay for half the cost of the ring they picked out together. Coming up, Andy is about to take the floor to explain his side of the story, and his defense for why he shouldn't have to pay is something you have to hear to believe. Let's jump right back into the courtroom to see how the judge handles his excuses.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 27-year-old Nadine Munoz claims her former fiancé, 27-year-old Andy Villalpando, cheated on her. So she's suing to recover the money she put toward her own engagement ring.
So what you have is a very interesting scenario, Miss Munoz. The ring should go back to him because it is an engagement ring.
Okay, I don't mind him having the ring as long as he pays the account.
Now, when you made this deal with him, was he supposed to pay for the whole ring?
He was supposed to, he made a verbal promise that he was going to pay for the whole ring. But when I brought him to court, I was being very noble by paying half.
Okay. Well, this was an engagement ring. Women don't pay for their own engagement rings unless they're crazy. She doesn't sound to me like she's crazy. And my sense is that at least at the time that she purchased this ring on her credit, it was something that you intended to pay for because it was an engagement ring. That's what happens. A man buys a woman an engagement ring. The fact that she didn't like the first ring, sir, that's not an excuse. That's just a good story that you made up, that you were willing to pay for the first one but not the second one, because that's pretty much what you're telling me. And if you weren't willing to pay for the second one, then you wouldn't have and shouldn't have gone shopping with her for a second one. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, this whole ring was $2,627.94. And, sir, I don't think you paid her for the tires at all. So, Mr. Munoz, you just bought yourself a beautiful engagement ring and 4 new tires for the total price of $2,957.94. Judgment for the plaintiff in that amount. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Can't believe that.
At the back door to your right.
I wanted friendship afterwards, and I stated it strongly with him that I wanted friendship, but I didn't want to be lied to like he lied to me.
I'm sorry this all happened.
No problem.
Wow, talk about a plan completely backfiring on the defendant. Let's break down that final verdict, because Andy's attempt to talk his way out of this debt failed in the most spectacular way possible. His entire defense rested on the claim that he only agreed to pay for a ring that he personally picked out. He tried to tell the judge that he originally found a ring on sale, but Nan rejected it because it wasn't big or gaudy enough. He even threw in a petty detail, claiming she specifically demanded a ring larger than his ex-wife's 1-carat diamond. Because she didn't like his first, cheaper choice, they went shopping again. She found a nearly 2-carat ring she loved, and she signed for it. Andy figured that since it wasn't his original choice, he was completely off the hook for the bill. The judge, however, immediately dismantled that logic. She pointed out the obvious flaw in his story. If he truly had no intention of paying for that second, more expensive ring, he never should have gone shopping with her again. No one forced him to go along and play the role of the supportive. But the absolute best part of this outcome is how the final math worked out. Nan came into this courtroom being incredibly generous, only asking the judge to award her half the cost of the ring. Instead, the judge flipped the script entirely, stating that an engagement ring is traditionally a gift provided by the man, and women do not pay for their own engagement rings unless they are crazy. Because Andy promised to pay for the gift, the judge ruled that he is responsible for the whole thing. Nan was awarded the full cost of the engagement ring, plus the money for the tires, resulting in a total judgment of nearly $3,000. Andy tried to avoid paying for half and walked away having to pay for all of it. The biggest lesson to take away from this case is about setting strict financial boundaries in relationships. If your partner has a history of bankruptcy and terrible credit, stepping in to finance their major purchases like engagement rings or car parts on your own credit card is a massive risk. Nan learned a hard lesson about trusting someone who wasn't financially responsible, though she did mention at the end that she originally just wanted friendship and honesty moving forward. Thankfully, the court stepped in to make her whole financially. Thank you guys so much for watching this breakdown. I really want to hear your thoughts on this one. Would you ever front the money for your own engagement ring on your personal credit card if your partner couldn't afford it? Let me know your opinions down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future uploads. You definitely won't want to miss our next episode, where we'll be covering a wild case involving a stolen ring that gets traded straight to a drug dealer. It's going to be an intense one, so I will see you all next time.